Baseline basically is a theory that can be applied on a day-to-day basis, whereby you create a foundation or a capacity in which, where you're at, you can, do tasks and perform daily life within the capacity that you're at that doesn't actually make you feel any worse than you currently do. Now, obviously, this has to be flexible. A lot of people kind of get into this it has to be black and white, and there's a problem with that because every single day is going to be different for you. We're human beings, so we need to factor in physiological, psychological factors on how we're feeling based on what we need to be doing. And so, baseline is just a theory to get you out of pushing and crashing, to get you out of the ups and downs that comes with chronic fatigue syndrome. Once you do that, you can build a healthy baseline that you can build your capacity within, meaning you can do more over a period of time because you're building up your capacity appropriately for you. This is not graded exercise therapy. I'm not talking even about exercise actually right now. I'm talking about building your capacity, your strength and stamina in daily life that builds over time. And so a baseline basically is your daily routine that involves rest and relaxation and restoration and also doing. And so, we don't need to overcomplicate this and actually make it harder than it has to be. We just need to kind of settle into acceptance of where we're at and then just doing what works and sticking to it. I think the biggest problem that we all face is consistency. Once we do know what to do, the biggest problem is consistency and just doing what works and staying and sticking at it. And so, in 2020, we changed the entire program to an even better model, which is basically to make sure that you've got the accountability and the weekly and daily support to help you stay on track. And so that's the biggest thing that we need right now, because in 2020, everything's automated. Everything's just like, an automated video course that you watch at you're left to your own devices, basically. And so that's what you need to embed in your life: consistency. And so I'll show you this on diagram just briefly if you can see it. But basically what we want to see is these nice steady increments over a period of time. That time's different for everyone, but what we want to focus on is just slight improvements, then manage, then progress. Manage, progress. And there's going to be a few ups and downs in there. That's part of life, but as you start to build your capacity and understanding of yourself and your body, you're going to start to feel better within that and more confident in doing what you're doing. What we want to avoid is that. Imagine you start here. Let's say you feel really good, so you're going to do everything in one day. Does that sound like you? Might. And then you're going to crash, and then you're going to feel like shit for a day or 3 days or a week or 2 weeks or 5 weeks, whatever it is for you. You're going to come back up to the level of the baseline, and then you're going to push yourself again and repeat the same pattern. And so that's the first thing we help people with, is just establishing a baseline that's going to help you as much as possible. Okay? Yeah, super, super important. What you want to figure out is what you can and can't do right now. And basically what I mean by that is figuring out what's appropriate for you. Obviously if I said to you, go run a marathon, that would be very silly and inappropriate of me. And so what I want you to do is find things that you can do that actually don't make you feel too much worse than you currently do. What's really hard is getting started, because everything's going to be a little bit hard to start with. But, it could be as simple as brushing your teeth or sitting up out of bed, or very minimal daily movement. In bed. It doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. And it does happen because you do the right things over a period of time. So we've got to have the basics right, and we've got to have a holistic approach. Okay, we've got to make sure within our routine, our sleep is well structured, our rest is helpful for us, and we're doing it in the way that works for us, rather than just sitting there thinking that we're resting, but we're actually not. We're not enjoying it.